Welcome into a Wild Wednesday Between the Uprights podcast. If you have Verizon, I'm sorry you're affected, as am I, and pretty much everybody on this show. But welcome in, everybody, to Between the Uprights. We are on YouTube broadcasting live and also on Kick. We have a tight, packed show. We've got stuff that we got to go into. We've got a guest coming on at 9, Stank Bastard from the Loose Cannons podcast will be joining us to talk all things Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But let's get into it. That's the wrong one.
This week in NFL news.
Well, the big thing this week that came out was Mike Tomlin, as we predicted, is no longer the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers after the loss against the Houston Texans for the wild card weekend ending capper. So what is next for the Steelers in the offseason? Who are they going to bring in? What's going to happen to Aaron Rodgers? What is next for the Steelers?
Aaron Rodgers.
And once again,
to retire.
And once again, we're correct on things, by the way.
Yeah, we're always right.
We're always right.
Yeah. So tell the people that we're always right.
We're always right. We're always right.
I'm sorry, but these people rip off my scoops, and then I just think it's interesting that we put our clips out there and then certain things get out there. That's all I'm saying.
Certain things happen.
It is interesting.
You know, certain things happen. Nikki, I want to go to you first. What do you think the Steelers are going to do? Obviously, you said Aaron Rodgers is probably going to retire, which I think
he's got.
I think we are all leaning towards that. He is probably going to retire. I don't think he's going to go to or stay on the Steelers with a new head coach coming in. That's probably going to be like, hey, this is going to be my way or the highway. But where do you think they go coaching wise? There's been a bunch of names that have been floating around. Obviously, one of the biggest things that was a funny clip, I don't know if you guys saw it, was the owner of the Ravens reacting to Mike Tomlin, stepping down and saying, hey, what would be funny? What if we swapped? Tomlin would come to Ravens, and what if Harbaugh would coach the Pittsburgh Steelers? But Nikki, who do you think would be the best candidate for the Steelers job as of right now?
Oh my God. As of right now, by the way, the Ravens owner, I'm not that familiar with him. Is he always like a mob boss in his press conferences?
He's
always been like that. Yeah. Biscotti's always been like that with the slick back hair and everything, but he's definitely a character.
He's just Harbaugh would have lasted one more week. Like
the disrespect.
Yeah. What about Stefanski over there? Like,
the Rooneys, we talked about this before, where the Rooneys, they don't do a lot of firing. This is their only third head coach in all of the franchise history, which is wild. Where every other team is fired and hired coaches in the past X amount of years. This is only the third coach the Steelers have ever had. So I'm sure they're going to do their due diligence about bringing in probably a big name. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to bring a big name in there to get something solidified. I don't know if they'd go and hire like a no-name offensive coordinator that's going to come in and do a full reset, because that's probably what they're going to do, is a full reset. But, there's a lot of guys out right now that have had coaching experience that went back being a coordinator, and now they're going for head coaching jobs. So there's definitely a lot of guys that have the, I wouldn't say talent to be a head coach, but they have had experience being a head coach. Look, there's a lot of guys out there. Raul, who do you think could possibly come in and just, restart it for the Steelers? Obviously, they're going to maybe look for a new quarterback too as well if Aaron Rodgers decides to retire. So, what name kind of sticks out to you the most that could come into the Steelers?
To be honest with you, I don't know anybody that can go in there and, big name or no name. I don't know, because, let's be honest. So, like you said, there's been 3 coaches in franchise history, which means there's been more Catholic popes than there have been actual coaches.
And you know what the wild thing is? Each of those coaches has won Super Bowls.
For sure.
That's crazy.
I think they do a very good job of finding a person, finding a coach, and knowing they're going to stick with them for umpteen amount of years. And to give you, let's be honest, they gave him more than enough time to do 2-3 Super Bowl runs, right?
Right.
So I get that they're going to find a coach to go do that. I do blame Aaron Rodgers for Tomlin being fired, okay? And I say that because his mediocre play is what got him to this point. We didn't have this problem when he had what's his name? The other guy that got, goodness gracious, the quarterback, Mason Rudolph, right? Mason Rudolph was the quarterback for the Steelers, and we didn't have this freaking issue, and this guy still got him to a winnable season, okay? We're talking about Aaron Rodgers, who I said this a long time ago when we first started the podcast, when we first started talking about football season. I said Aaron Rodgers doesn't make people around him better, and he doesn't. He does not make people better. He's even made DK Metcalf look mediocre, okay? And I know DK has dropped passes, and I know he's out there punching fans, but, I mean, still, he has made – Aaron Rodgers he doesn't make the team look better, in my opinion. So I don't know who comes to replaces Tomlin. I'm sure – I am confident that the Steelers will do their due diligence and go find somebody, and they're going to bring somebody that's going to be there, hopefully, the same amount of time that Bill Cowher was and Mike Tomlin, because those are the only two coaches I've known since I was a kid.
I'm glad that you brought up the quarterback situation. Now it's not all Mike Tomlin's fault. I think that's also comes down to the GM and also the owners too when it goes coming out and picking a QB. I'm going to list you off the QBs that have been with the Steelers since Ben Roethlisberger retired in 2021. We've had Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, Devlin Duck Hodges, I'm sorry, Mitch Trubisky, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and now Aaron Rodgers. Nikki, don't you think with all the money that the Rooneys have, now I know they don't pay much, don't you think that, and the GM too as well, don't you think they should have done their due diligence with all the quarterbacks that have been in the draft and been in free agency since post Ben Roethlisberger? Don't you think they should have gotten the right quarterback for the Steelers post Ben Roethlisberger? Now I know they bet a lot of Mason Rudolph, and Mason Rudolph was going to come in and be the next starting guy. Kenny Pickett was going to be the other guy too, but don't you think they should have gone out and did their due diligence about getting the next Ben Roethlisberger to lead the franchise to glory?
Yeah, and I mean, I've said that for years on past podcasts that at some point, God, I feel old talking about Roethlisberger, but like it was apparent that at some point, like they were going to have to find that guy, and they've kind of tried to just piecemeal this together, and it's not really working. And you know, to your guys' point, like, damn, you would think Russell Wilson would be the one that would have done Mike Tomlin in, but that's how Aaron Rodgers rolls. It's me. He's all about himself. He's not really that team guy. You know what I mean? And he's like the coach killer. He gets everybody fired. Like he gets them fucking fired. Like he doesn't stay in his lane. You know what I mean? And I'm all for like a diva. I love a good diva wide receiver. I love a good diva player. That's all fine, well, and good. But this guy's just so much about himself. And this is coming from an extremely like self-centered person. Like even I'm not that bad. Like it's something with him and the coaches. And I thought that like Mike Tomlin was that only type of personality that could be like, you go out there and play football and I'm going to coach the team. But it's just rinse and repeat with this guy. Like they call him a cancer, but I mean, I think we have enough data now to kind of say like, dude, you're part of the problem.
Right. Okay. Exactly. I completely agree. There's and I, if you notice throughout the weeks, they would find ways to have Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin either walk with each other, leaving a game, or, you know, high five each other, talk to make it look like, hey, we're on the same page here. But there's obviously something there. I've never put it like this. All these guys that have played with Aaron Rodgers, with the exception of Devontae Adams, that's the only guy I know who goes to bat for Aaron. I've never heard anybody say how great Aaron is in the locker room, how much of a leader he is, or the little things that he does, or how much time he puts in. I don't know if he spends more time in a dark room or he spends more time watching film, right? So I have no idea.
I think it's more he's in a cave with ayahuasca and doing that.
Like I don't know what he – and again, I think Aaron Rodgers had his time. He was amazing at some point, but at some point he turned into maybe not a diva, but maybe more of a guy like just I don't know, like an imbecile, like in a sense of like I'm gonna do this and this is how it's done, and I like doing this way. And if you can't get it done this way, the way I want to do it, then you know that's your problem.
It's my way or the highway, and you can't be on a team if you're going to act like that. Now, question to you guys is: we do this every year with him. Where's he going? Is he retiring? Like Evan, do you think he drags this out, or is this a quicker?
I think if I'm more on the retiring ship, I think this is pretty much it, because I don't think he's going to just stay there and whoever comes in as the head coach, I don't think he's 42 now. I think he's done. Look, there's no more. That's not much left he needs to prove in the league. And so I know he's talked about his body not holding up as well. I think he retires. I don't think he drags it out like he's done in past. I think when he decides whatever he's going to do, I don't think there's going to be much focus on Aaron Rodgers' retirement like there has been in past with the media and everything. But I think once he decides what he's going to do, which I think is going to retire, that's going to be done. And then he'll ride off into the sunset and be on Joe Rogan's podcast and also Pat McAfee show a lot. So that's what I think is going to happen. Raul, what do you think?
I hope he doesn't end up in a booth somewhere.
No, I don't think
he's a booth guy.
Yeah,
I don't think so either.
But I don't want to hear.
Tomlin might, right?
Yeah, they're saying Tomlin might take a year off, do the booth, and then maybe wait for the right job, the Bucs job, maybe whenever that happens for next year. So
I don't know. I just my whole thing is I know Tomlin's had his time. I know Harbaugh had his time, and it's hard for me as a guy that's seen these guys over the years to say, oh shoot, they're going to be switching teams or possibly taking the year off. But I still don't think they deserved it. And all those quarterbacks you named, they all had winning seasons. So you're telling me Super Bowl MVP and freaking league MVP twice. This guy can't get a winning season done anymore. He's just not winning anymore. Those other guys who made probably way less than Aaron ever did still had winning seasons and still did what Tomlin did and was getting with the plan for the recipe of how to win that division. They did it. They got it done. So that don't sell you much. I don't know what else does.
All right, let's get off the Steelers soapbox. I think one last name. I think that might be an intriguing one. If he wins the national championship, all he does is win. Kirk Cinetti from Indiana might be a name to
Interesting.
Pittsburgh.
Interesting. Yeah.
All he does is win.
The only one that fits the mold too is the Notre Dame coach.
He's already said he doesn't want to go pro. Yeah, he's already said he's staying with Notre Dame.
That's the only guy that kind of fits that Steeler mold mentality.
I could see him, but
person that has to be there.
Yeah.
I think if the Steelers want to make an intriguing splash, I think Kirk Cinetti would be the guy that would bring in because all he does is win. So, all right, let's move on to the bigger story of the weekend, and one that made me smile when I watched this game was the Eagles losing against the San Francisco 49ers. But what's the bigger story? Was it the San Francisco 49ers winning or the Eagles losing over the weekend?
I think Eagles losing, right? I would think so because this is a team that's supposed to be repeating, right? This is supposed to be. To me, the Eagles have all the weapons in the world. That OC is terrible.
Yes,
right?
He's now fired. So he's
rightfully so. Rightfully so. He should have been gone. He should have been gone or taken the rights away from, I say week 6, week 7, but he rode out with him for some reason, which I don't even know what the Eagles' identity was anymore. Last year, you could definitely see that they were riding the coattails of Saquon Barkley for a long, long time.
Yep.
But I don't know what the hell they did this year. And despite whatever's going on with A.J. Brown, the OC, I think, did not like this man, but he definitely didn't involve him in game planning on any of these games. And yes, he dropped passes in that game with the 49ers. I understand that. But what do you expect when a guy catches one in the first quarter and then doesn't get thrown again until the fourth quarter? So,
okay.
Nikki? I don't know. Eagles, in my opinion.
No, I think the Niners were the bigger story. I think the Niners were the bigger story because, I should have just listened to myself on Monday when I was on another podcast and I took the Niners to win. But I thought with all the injuries, right? And then when you see Kittle go down and I'm like, that's it. They're done for. I just thought that being in Philly, Philly had the advantage and they just didn't exploit that, right? And I just thought they would. And then not that I was happy that Kittle went down, but I thought, oh God, here we go. The injuries are just piling up and piling up and piling up. And so I thought it was a bigger story that the Niners actually pulled that win off.
Yeah, with all the injuries that keep piling up through, the whole year they've been injury ridden. Look at what they did, the Buccaneers. Look what the 49ers did. Buccaneers with all your injuries, and look what you did. You didn't do anything. But yeah, the bigger story to me is the San Francisco 49ers pulling off a win against the Eagles in Philly to move on to the divisional round against the Seattle Seahawks, which is going to be a slobber knocker of a game. I look, if San Francisco keeps going in the right direction, they can go all the way to the Super Bowl with all the injuries that they have. Fred Warner's was still banged up. He's still coming in and out, but this also goes with good coaching too. With all the injuries that have piled up, Shanahan is a masterful coach, and the next guy up for them is making plays. So I've been a closeted San Francisco fan since I was a kid. So this is a good story for you know.
Okay.
You gotta watch Joe Montana and Steve Young win Super Bowls when you're a kid. So come on.
Yeah, I don't know who didn't root for them back then. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but looking at the Eagles, it put a smile on my face. Losing, it was great. It was like everybody won the Super Bowl over the weekend when the Eagles going down. There is no repeat champ going into this year, so it's anybody's game right now.
I love it. I love it. Did you see the brotherly love welcome they gave the 49ers fans? They were
I did not.
they were giving them the finger, throwing drinks on them, and telling them to go F themselves as they were walking into the stadium. So
just normal.
Yeah, that's
just an everyday Wednesday in Philadelphia.
That happens at malls too.
Yeah. Why are they like this?
Why is the city called Brotherly Love?
I don't know, because they're anything but. I mean,
Well, if you're from Philly and you're a Philly guy, Philly gal, they're gonna take care of you. You're an out of towner, they're not gonna take care of you.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they don't care nothing about you. Yeah,
at all.
I do feel one real quick, 2 minutes. I do feel bad for Kittle, man. Jesus, I mean, that guy, and that's one guy that I'm rooting for. To hey, man, you might want to hang up the cleats, man. This is a bit much on the legs. I mean, it's the same leg, I believe, that he injured. That's the knee, I think, or whatever.
I thought he pulled it. I think it was his Achilles.
Yeah, it was the Achilles, but the same leg that he messed
same
up.
leg.
Yeah,
same leg. Yeah,
man. It's getting time.
How long has he played now?
I think it's a short. Well, I don't think it's more than 8 years, 7 years, 8 years.
I want to say 8.
Maybe
he's been in the league for a while.
Yeah, for sure. Poor guy, man. That's my thing. If anybody that that's been watching us and I know
9
you
years.
have,
9 years.
Go tell Kittle, man, we love him and good luck, man. That's a long recovery.
Yeah, you hate to see it. You just hate to see.
I do.
Talk about a polar opposite. There's a team guy for you right there, right? Like he makes everybody around him better. He makes the locker room better. And then you got Rodgers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, too, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, leading his team to victory too as well. So
this guy, I mean, $900,000 before he got that contract.
Yep.
Playing like his life depended, because it did, right? Like, this guy's making everybody better. What's going on?
All right, let's get into, do we owe Josh Allen an apology?
Never.
For what?
Never. Okay. Well, so I thought about this over the weekend.
When I read this, I was like, I'm not apologizing this club.
I know. I read the rundown. I'm like, fucking no.
I thought about this over the weekend, and I'm like, we've been kind of hating on Josh Allen and the way he played against the Jaguars, pretty much putting everything on his back and willing them to victory. And that tush push, by the way, was impressive. By the way, I think at least I owe Josh Allen an apology.
Really?
Forward. Yes.
Really?
I think
No,
I
I don't think so.
You don't? Okay.
You know what? I'll tell you why. I'll go first. I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You're supposed to be dominating Mr. I'm Josh Allen. First of all, I don't know if you guys noticed, the Bills do get the referee calls now that the Chiefs used to get last year. Those guys have now been crowned like, oh, well, the Chiefs are out, so we'll give it to you guys because you're the ones that complain about overtime. You're the ones that cry that you didn't get the ball because, well, they didn't get the ball. This is stupid. And then we had to change the stupid rule because Josh Allen can't finish a game, goddammit, or his defense can't. So then we had to finish it. So, no, I don't apologize to this guy.
But this is another quarterback which he has no playmakers at all. He has, it's him and James Cook. He has bums for wide receivers, and this is another quarterback putting it all on his shoulders. He beat the number one defense over the weekend. So I'm just saying, if you guys don't want to owe him an apology, I'll say I'm sorry.
I don't think we owe him an apology. Yeah. One, because yes, it's expected. You are Josh Allen. But two, here's the thing. I would argue back that most of our criticism, not me anyway, it's not really directly like straight at Josh Allen. It's more of the supporting cast around him that they can't seem to get right, which is causing like some of the things that he's doing. He has to be a superhero going forward. Like he has no choice, but that's because they don't have any pieces around him. But there might be a wide receiver who would fit there.
AJ Brown.
Yes.
For sure. That'd be awesome.
Get to that. Or you could lead into it.
I will say this too. The Jaguars gave that man too much respect. Also in that game, and I'm being serious. They played too much let me sit back here and not Josh Allen do anything. And Josh Allen was like, oh, you're not gonna come attack me? Oh, okay, this is gonna be a little bit easier. And I think that was a bad game plan. In the first 2 quarters, it did look tough. It looked like they were trying to get after it. And then I don't know what they started thinking, like, we're not even gonna put quarterback spies on this guy anymore. We're gonna bail out, or we're gonna our linebackers. Like, go get Josh Allen. Go get him. Make him have to force to make those big plays. I just didn't think Jacksonville played aggressive enough when I saw the game. And I was like, okay, sure.
I also think they abandoned the run too in the second half.
Yeah.
They did.
They abandoned the whole run scheme. Travis Etienne was like running really well, and they just said, you know what? We're not gonna do that anymore.
Yeah, screw it. Yeah, I didn't understand their game plan.
If Josh Allen doesn't go to the Super Bowl, has that window officially been shut after the season?
No,
Great question.
I think it depends what you do around him. I think he still got it, but like, yeah, I know it's one of our questions. Go get an AJ Brown. He's a fucking head case, but like, go get him. Go get this guy some defensive help. Maybe you need a new head coach over there. Like, you've got to put the pieces around him. I will say, if they just keep continuing to do what they're doing, yeah, the window is going to close, because there is only so much he's going to be able to do just naturally over time.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right.
It starts catching up after a while, especially he's a new dad. So,
all right, we'll get into a lightning question. Buy or sell? Will the Jags repeat next year, winning the division?
Sell.
No, sell.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
End of lightning round.
What? You don't skip it. Are you buying or selling?
Oh, I'm definitely selling. I'm definitely going to sell. No,
Yeah,
I'm definitely selling. Definitely. All right. One of the biggest things, this was one of the marquee matchups over the weekend. Bears Packers, storied franchise. You know, they hate each other. It's great for football.
For sure.
Great game, by the way. What is the bigger story for this one? The Bears coming back once again and winning this game, or the Packers collapsing and letting the Bears coming back after being up? I think it was 21-3 at halftime. You let Caleb Williams storm back and beat you. What's the bigger story?
I think it's the Bears comeback.
Yeah. I agree with you. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, so they've had 5. Did you guys know that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I have to do when I do my articles, I have to do research. I can't just fucking wing it. You know,
you can't do Chat GPT like the writers on Stranger Things. You can't do that.
No, I can't do that. But I didn't realize he's had 5 clutch, performances, and so I loved that game. I didn't have a dog in the fight other than wanting to get the pick right, but I was on the edge of my seat. Like, I just wish it wasn't on Prime. It probably would have done better ratings wise if it wasn't on Prime. But I think the comeback was the bigger story, really, because I think everyone expected the Bears to collapse, and they didn't. So I thought that was a bigger story.
Okay. No, I agree. The Bears was looking good. I'm still amazed how that ball comes off of Caleb's hand, man. When he slings a football, like he wants to drill it, God, that thing comes flying off his hand. And I hate to say it like this, and maybe I'm pushing too much. It reminds me of a Elway Marino / how fast the freaking I mean, he's that arm strength is amazing. Especially when I saw him rolling left and he drops a dime in between 4 Packers, and you're like, God, this kid's got it, man. Wow. I agree, Nikki. The Bears was an amazing story. I mean, to come back down 21-3, be resilient the way he is. That Bears is a scary team. That Bears is a scary, scary team.
And they play the Rams this weekend in Chicago, which is going to be a tough test.
Chicago.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to bring in our guest. He is one half of the Loose Cannons podcast. He's got some stank ass feet. He's always smoking a stogie. Please welcome to the show, Stank Bastard. What's up, man? How are you?
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up? I'm 1/3. Even though
Bob Late's like hardly been on the show, so right now it's just you and Sammer right now. So
he's employed by the team, so it's hard for him to come on and
I got you.
Talk shit when he's in the locker room with the guys he's talking shit about. So
he's
kind of had to take a weird side role. He hopped on the show the other day. But he just can't be himself. So whatever.
When you're getting checks that are signed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I got you.
What he's getting to do is cool as shit. I get it, but that's why I've always personally had a bit of a line between, and I know some of the players. Obviously, you follow me. We're cool with Jason Light. We're cool with a lot of the people in the organization, but I don't get that cool with them. If Jason doesn't want to punch me, I'm probably not doing, not talking enough shit. And usually when I do see him, that's the first thing he does is punch me. very hard. Because
but that means you're doing something right, though.
No, exactly. I'm here to just to stir shit up.
Which you guys were stirring a lot of shit up last night on your show with Rashad White on there stirring up things with the fans. I know he was talking about the coaching staff and what was going on. I wanted to just kind of get your opinion. What the fuck are the Bucs doing? Like, what are we doing here?
Don't know. Don't like it. It's just when is this kind of thing ever worked before? People say, oh, Philadelphia, they fire coaches all the time, but Philadelphia, I think is a different
split.
Their GM's ultra aggressive. I'll say this: it doesn't happen often. Jason Light, I trust him, I do, but I don't know that it's ultimately his decision either. I think the Glazers have spent their money. Maybe don't like what's behind door number 2, and because they're known to go after the sexy big names. And so I feel like if they do it, it's going to be for somebody that's worthwhile. Although we did have Mike McDaniel in the building today, or having him in the building tomorrow, which to me is a sexy name.
Yep.
Maybe not to others, kind of based off of his weird.
Do you think it's ultimately going to come down? Do you think it's ultimately it did come down to money by keeping Bowles, because he was extended out to 2028? So
man, that'd be a fucked up reason to keep him.
Look, if that's the reason why you're keeping him instead of letting him go. Obviously, if you let him go, you got to pay him out and do the buyout to bring in a sexy name like a Harbaugh, or if you can dangle a carrot in front of Tomlin and say, hey, why don't you come back to Tampa and coach? I mean,
here's the problem though. Like we've heard since Todd has been here that this is a great locker room, and I do believe that they're comfortable. I do believe the guys like each other, all that kind of shit. But there's definitely no big dick swinging in there. There's no fear. It's not like with BA where he's your friend, but there's a healthy fear that doesn't exist in this locker room. And then you don't have guys in there like Mike Evans is a hell of a vet. Levante's a hell of a vet. They're not those guys though that are going to call you out in front of everybody, and they just don't have that. There's only a select few guys that have that type of respect in a locker room that can do that. We've seen it with Warren Saps and obviously Brady. Like, who the fuck is going to say anything to that guy? Everybody's scared of him. So, you need somebody like that. If your coach isn't going to be that heavy hand, somebody's got to be that heavy hand. And I don't think it exists with Todd. I mean, look at right after the season, you got players talking shit.
Yeah.
You got Yaya Diaby saying, I'm out there by myself. Like Rashad came on our podcast yesterday, and he's technically still employed by the Bucs.
Wasn't he? After the last game, I think he posted on it was a Twitter or Instagram saying, "Like, I'm out. Like, Uno's out.
He's out. He's wanted out. I think transparently he wanted out last year. He just wasn't happy with his role under Liam, and ultimately, it's not up to Jason to make friends. You have a commodity. You got a guy who's under contract to keep him, and it obviously didn't work out very well with Grizzard this year. So he's ready for a fresh start. But you got guys that are kind of running their mouth a little bit. That to me doesn't scream a whole lot of respect in the locker room. They like Todd. I trust me. They all love Todd as a man, as a person. But it's just a weird environment. I don't like it.
What do you think? I mean, we've had so many. I mean, I've been on X constantly just looking at who could we bring in as the offensive coordinator to fix things on the offense, because obviously, you saw it firsthand. We saw it firsthand where the offense was just pretty much after the bye, it was flat, and once we got everybody back healthy, it was still flat. It was even worse. So with all the names that are floating around right now, who do you think would be like the perfect fit to bring in for the OC, for Baker and the offense to fix things?
I like Todd Monken. I like him because he's a bit of a dick. I feel like they need that. Liam was that guy. Liam was a bit of a dick. He really was. He wasn't the guy's friends. He didn't make friends. He didn't make friends with Rashad. I can tell you that. He was kind of a dick, and I don't feel like there's a whole lot of that in this locker room. Todd had his guys. BA brought in his guys. I think it was just one big happy family in there, and guys weren't being coached up. If you saw what Rondé said, this team's missing teachers, and Todd's system is ultra complicated, and he's got to be ultra complicated because we have no pass rush coming off the edge. And the guy you counted on to be your main pass rush force in Kancey was out for most of the season, and Vita's not that guy. I love Vita, but he's not Warren Sapp. He's just
clogging holes. That's all he's doing.
He's got some pass rush ability because he's a lot to handle. But if it's just him out there and nobody's respecting fucking Hassan Reddick, because guess what? That guy, people were running their mouth about, everybody, you got to want to be here. You got to want to. It was him that they were talking about. Hassan, I think, checked out pretty early on. So that's the guy you don't want on your football team. That's why Yaya is like, sometimes I feel like I'm out there doing it by myself. He's not talking about the young guys who are barely getting any reps. He's talking about that guy who you paid $14 million to come in here and be that edge pressure, that edge presence, and really didn't have much to show for it. He wasn't a complete fucking disaster, but I would have rather kept Joe Troyinka and fucking paid a linebacker or somebody else some money because it wasn't enough. He didn't do enough.
Okay. I want to go on the defensive side. I know, Todd's the main guy when being the DC as well as the head coach. For the offseason, going to that meeting with them, do you think they were like ultimatum? You got to give up control. You got to hire in fresh guys, or it's the highway. Do you think that happened in the meeting with the Glazers?
I do. I think they wanted to do it last year, honestly. And I think Todd stood on the table for him, and then, said he had some kind of eureka moment in the offseason, and that must have been his eureka moment. Must have been, let's coach even more scared than we normally do. If
I'm Baker, I'm pissed too, because now this is the fourth OC that has been either hired by somebody else or let go, and now I'm going to go on my fifth OC. So it's a new
it's weird.
Sounds like Philly over there. They're on they got a new OC every year.
Baker's never had the same OC twice.
Yeah.
In his entire career.
If I was him, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, look, if I was him, I would also be like, hey, I want a little bit of input into who you guys bring in, because if it's somebody that I'm not going to mesh well with, it's not going to go well for the offense. I mean, like you said, Monken I think he'd be a great fit. He coached Baker back when they were in Cleveland together. I think it'd be a good fit for them. Would Mike McDaniel be another guy that you would want to consider to bring in?
Yeah, just because he's a savant, but I don't know that he brings that discipline. I think he's maybe a bit of the opposite. So,
Raul is a Miami Dolphins fan, so he knows firsthand about Mike McDaniel.
You tell me, bro.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you now. Is it gonna be the play? How can I say this? So his playbook, right, is going to be dazzling. It's going to be amazing. It's based off of big plays, though. Yeah. It is not based off of I'm going to drive down the field or give identity to an offense. Like the Miami Dolphins offense, we had Lamborghinis all over the field. We had nobody that knew how to drive a Lamborghini. You have all this speed everywhere, and I don't think Mike McDaniel knew how to utilize that speed other than sending guys on 15-plus yard routes and trying to send safeties to cover two guys at one time, and really didn't know how to take care of the underneath passing game. You know what I mean? And when he panics and it's 3rd and 9, he's going to throw a wide receiver screen. I've seen it time and again every fucking week. And you're like, hey, man, there's other routes than just a goddamn a screen to a receiver hoping that you can get it done. And his playbook, you need a Tyreek Hill-ish guy, speed-wise, that gives fear to these guys. Otherwise, nobody's going to eat, man. It ain't going to happen. No offense to the Bucs. You don't have that.
Did he not describe Josh Grizzard's exact offense?
Pretty much, yeah.
And it's a
may interest you guys in Brian Dable.
Is that a possibility? I just don't think. I don't.
Nikki, are you a Giants fan?
Yes, and I'm going through the same thing your co-host is going through when you cover the team and then you talk shit on a podcast and they're mad at you and
she's been reprimanded a few times by Giants PR about the things that she may or may not have said about the Giants over this past season. So
I broke a few stories. They've been mad at me for 3 years. I broke the Brian Dable getting fired story. I broke a story about John Harbaugh and his intentions last week. The local New York media picked it up. They're pissed off at me again. It's just been a whole thing. And then I come on here and I do if it's not here, it's my stuff for On and Jay, and I talk shit about ownership in the team. And
Stank, you're loose cannons isn't the only show that likes to piss off people. So
no, but
piss people off all the time on this show.
Yeah. What's funny is when we first got started and we started to get a little bit of traction and we started to make some friends in the building. They kind of encourage us not to go the route of traditional media, not to get credentialed, not to try to go that path, because it allowed us freedom. And really, they don't meddle too much. Not to say that I don't, and I haven't gotten some text messages, and usually they don't go directly to me. They'll get to me. Because I have, but the only thing that they said was try not to make it personal, which I've kept in the back of my mind. It's tough, especially when I was like, I'm gonna go to Josh Grizzard's house and shit on his front doorstep. I'm sure they didn't like that, but it was a heat of the moment tweet.
I feel you. I do it.
Was the DM, is that legit? Josh Grizzard, was that legit DM that he sent you guys last night?
The truth is, we don't know. It's definitely his account.
Okay.
Whether he still has control of that account, we don't know. That timing was odd as fuck. The night he got fired, I get a DM from that account. And then at first I'm like, this is somebody just changed their username. But then I look on there and it's all Duke stuff, which he was an assistant there. And like when he got the job as the Bucks OC, the head coach of that organization, or that program, tweeted at that account. So I don't know if it's active. These days you can buy accounts, I guess, that aren't being utilized. Fuck if I know. Because it not only did that account DM me, but it DM'd my co-host Sammer. And but the way he was talking didn't sound like a Yale grad. I'll say that. I didn't screenshot the entire discussion, but it
sounded like a drunk assistant.
It was like, get at me,
many beers.
If you want to clear the air, holla at me or something like that. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
We asked Rashad to call him live on the show last night to see if it in fact was him, but Rashad at this point I think knows that he has to be a little bit careful. And I did warn him before we recorded last night. I'm like, you're a free agent, bro. I like the spice. Trust me. I want to talk shit, but I also want you to cost you your job. You still have to go play for somebody. And if you're out there, burning bridges, it's going to be a little bit tough for you to get on somewhere else. So
for sure.
All right. So evaluating going into the season for 2026, we got the draft coming up in a couple months. What in a perfect world, where would you like to see the Bucks go? Is Mike Evans gonna retire, or is he gonna be back one last year? What do you think the Bucks are gonna be in 2026?
Rashad seemed to be 50-50 on Mike, and I think Mike's probably feeling the same way. But honestly, like if I just how I feel like he'll be back. I don't think he goes out the way he went out last year. Playing this 13th year, that number's meaningful to him. I guess it depends on who we bring in and if he's excited to play for that guy too. If it's somebody, if it's like and no offense to these young coordinators like Shieldhouse and all the ones that everybody's, they're throwing out there. We just did that. We just had a guy who'd never really called plays in the NFL. We just had to break in a coordinator, who was getting out coached and out schemed by defensive coordinators. Right. And so not to say the guy's not smart. I'm sure he's smart as fuck. I'm sure Shieldhouse is smart, but when you're playing chess with masters and you're a young master, you're probably going to get your ass whipped quite a bit. I don't think that having this locker room like we do, we've got an offense with weapons. We've got some vets on this team. Like I don't know that you want to start from scratch again. You just did it. Liam is an anomaly, right? That guy has the mental makeup to be a leader. Which is why so many fans wanted to keep him. We fired Todd last year. And, transparently, I was like, it's kind of a fuck, it's kind of a big fuck you to a guy that's won 3 straight division championships and is taking you to, at least transition out of the Brady era with some winning, even though our division is fucking awful. But still, I wasn't as excited as everybody else was to be like, just give Liam the keys. Now, in retrospect, fuck. I mean, yeah, I'd trade Liam for Todd all day, but fuck Liam Cohen, you snake ass motherfucker.
Duval.
Is there anybody you think there's anybody in the building that you guys can promote from within?
No. See, that's the weird
that's
thing.
What I'm saying, right?
You know what's fucked up? Like everybody uses McVay as the model, right? And that guy constantly has, I mean, how many coaches can you take from a coaching staff? Every year, Shanahan and McVay's coaching staffs are getting, robbed of their young coaches.
Yeah.
There are no young coaches. There are no young up and coming coaches on this coaching staff. That to me has to tell you something, right? How come you don't have guys that are learning your system, Todd? How come they're not young and young defensive coaches that are getting poached? You're a defensive coordinator, right? So that's a weird thing that I don't think it's talked about in a lot of organizations, by the way, where is all this young talent, coming out of other organizations? They're all trying to copy what's in right now, and everything's constantly fucking changing. But to me, that says something about this coaching staff. Especially when you talk that talk, right? They talk about bringing in teachers. BA was a big proponent of, there's not coaches, they're teachers. Coaches are just teachers. The teach. Okay, so you should have, guys in the pipe coming out, and I don't think there's anybody on this coaching staff that's going to get interview anywhere else in the fucking league. That's another thing. Like, it's
I don't see anybody hungry. You know what I mean? The hungry young.
I'm a little nervous too going into this year as well, as just because of the way the Panthers have. They're on their up and up. Saints are looking pretty good. The last 5-6 weeks of the season, and even now with us going into 2026, if you don't get the right OC, you're gonna be what? And even Atlanta's looking good.
Atlanta's defense, is the real deal.
Yeah.
Legit. Yeah.
So if you don't get the right OC and you don't plug up those holes in the defensive wide, the Bucs are going to have a long season next year. To me, they're going to be in the mix for like that third, fourth.
Nobody in the NFC South is feeling worse about their football team than we are. I follow a lot of piece of shit Saints fans. They're happy right now about Tyler Shutt.
Oh, they're stacked.
Right?
Yeah, they love him.
They're very happy. They're confident. Stupid ass Cam Jordan's talking about coming back. Like, as much as I hate that whole organization in that city, the only thing good about it is their food. We can all agree about music and food. Outside of that, we're sports, we're fans, we're people. I just, I don't want to. If I could just go there and eat and leave, I would do that. But
they're not as bad as Philly fans.
I was going to say, this sounds like the equivalent of Philadelphia fans.
You know what? It's a different level. Like, New Orleans fans think they're the good guy. Eagles fans know they're pieces of shit, and they are they're proud of it. Like
they don't know.
They just embrace how awful
they know. They're
are.
the villains.
Right.
They love it.
But New Orleans fans, they really think they're the greatest, and that Drew Brees is the greatest quarterback ever, and that they just believe they're in some fairy tale, which whatever.
With that 2026 draft that Evan was mentioning, what do you think the Bucs need to go get? What are you hoping for? What do you feel like they should have? Yeah. I know you don't have a
in defense. It's in defense of Todd Bowles. He didn't really have much, to work with up front as far as putting pressure on quarterbacks, and because of that, he has to devise ways to create pressure, which complicates things. Rondé Barber came out and said he doesn't like this defense because it's so complicated, and it's because Todd's constantly having to manufacture pressure. So it's up to Jason Light and that group to get him somebody up there that can get to the quarterback without having to always do crazy shit. So like a lot of teams, we need pass rushers.
Yep.
That's the problem. A lot of teams need pass rushers, and they don't grow on trees. And when we've been mediocrely successful drafting in the mid to high 20s, you're not going to get that guy, man. And if you're not willing to trade for that guy, you better accidentally find a Shaq Barrett. You better do that. And so they haven't, unfortunately, since Shaq, they haven't hit on anybody trying to find a next up and coming guy. They're gonna have to be aggressive. We all laughed at what Atlanta did, right? Oh, look at what they traded for James Pierce and Walker, right? Is his name Walker?
Walker, and now it's starting to pay off in dividends too.
And then look at those two guys, and look at what they did to that defense. They changed it pretty much overnight. The safety they drafted, which was a guy we thought was a potential guy, they hit on a bunch of defensive young talent. So we've got to have that draft this year if we want to compete next year, because I feel like this is the point where the rest of the division is ready to potentially pass us by. Sad for me to say, but it's not going to be the same as it was. I feel like this division's climbing up and we're fucking sliding down at the same time.
I totally 100% agree on that. Yeah. So, well, Stank, thanks for coming on the show, man. You can follow Stank on Twitter at Stank Bastard, and also find him on the Loose Cannons podcast. Pretty much the number one Tampa Bay Buccaneers podcast. You can go watch. You guys are every single week. Is it Mondays and Wednesdays, or just Wednesdays for right now? I know you guys are probably going to take a break here pretty soon, right?
Yeah, during the season, it's Mondays and Thursdays, but we'll probably just do a one day a week show right now until draft talk starts to ramp up, and then we have all the draft experts on, and Trevor Sycamore and those guys will come on our show and really break down who's a good fit for this team, and get back into what Bucs fans were raised on, which is talking about the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you haven't checked out the Buccaneers documentary, you can find Stank in that for a
That's right. I'm in the same documentary as Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Where are my checks at, Buccaneers? Send them.
Yeah.
Now you got to talk to Amazon for that one, man.
Yeah, Amazon. Send me my shit.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for coming on, dude.
Thanks, Stank, man.
Later, guys. Nice meeting you.
Bye.
All right, guys. Let's get into our picks for the divisional rounds. We're gonna go straight into it. Let's go into it for division, or unless Nick, you got bets for this weekend.
Real quick, man. Real quick.
Yeah.
That fucking guy's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
People. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I love it.
We'll get Sam on here
I love
too.
that he's got a co-host that I should talk to the co-host. Just commiserate.
Yeah.
Feel pain.
That's good, man. That was a good. That was a great one, man. I really like that one.
All right, Nikki, what do we got for Bet It On Blind this weekend for the divisional round of the playoffs? Oh, by the way, my parlay with all those quarterbacks would have hit if Drake May and Josh Allen wouldn't have just thrown
right, because we
touchdown.
did the crazy one I mentioned last week. That guy did. It was two each, right?
Yeah, it was two. Well, I kind of tweaked it a little bit because I knew a couple quarterbacks wouldn't throw over two, but like I was right on it, and then I had the ability to cash out. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I should let it ride, and then Josh Allen didn't do shit. And I was like, God damn it. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, but didn't have 2 throwing because he has nobody to throw to. So yeah, I lost out in like $7,000.
No problem.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, yeah.
So close. But I do think he is
an
anytime touchdown this week. I have him for.
Okay.
I have Brock Purdy over 17.5 rushing yards because his last 3 games he's well cleared that number. And he's only ran twice against Seattle in the last game, and he cleared that number then. So I like that. And then Ramondre Stevenson over 20.5 receiving yards. I know the Texans defense is tough, but I think he's going to slip out and catch a few passes from Drake May. So he's another one who tends to he'll go over. He usually hits 21. So
okay. All right. Let's get into our picks for the divisional round this weekend. You guys can hear the music pretty well, right? There we go.
Fucking Panthers.
All right, our first matchup for the 4:30 game. I think this might be on Peacock. I'm not sure. Hold on, let me check. I know it's on CBS. Okay, good. All right, first matchup are Bills and the Denver Broncos. Who do we got for this game? This is gonna be a tough one for the Bills.
I pray, Bo Nix fucking puts up 50 points.
50 points.
I hope it's 50-3. I hope they get a shot.
You really don't like the Bills, do you? Or you just don't like Josh Allen?
He doesn't like Josh Allen.
I don't like Josh Allen. He's in my division. That's one. And 2, I mean, I think this guy deserves some flowers. I think he's a good quarterback, but there's times where you're just like, they overly glaze this guy. Like, they just overly, just like, oh my God, Josh Allen is the most amazing quarterback. And you're like, he's fucking 255 and he's running. Yeah, he's not supposed to go down, you know what I'm saying, when one guy tries to tackle him. So I think they overglaze. I hope Bo Nix and them kill him.
Okay. Nick,
okay, that's your hope. Is that your pick?
That's my pick. I'm sorry, that's my pick.
Okay.
What do you got, Nikki?
Is Josh Allen that good because he has to be, because there's nothing else around him?
Yeah,
like,
no
maybe he has to be that good. I do think he needs to be a superhero from here on out. Even starting with last week, he's got to be a superhero. He has to carry this team on his back. I think he will. I think they'll win, but I don't love them. This is my least confident pick, but I think his superhero-ness will carry them to another win.
It's the father-to-be powers.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I see people say on social media. I don't know anything about that. But.
I'm going opposite way. I'm going with Raul. I'm going with Broncos. I think the Broncos are going to be too much for the Bills. And
God, I hope so.
I know Josh Allen can be Superman, putting everything on his back, but it's not going to happen this week against the Broncos.
I don't know. Bo Nix is efficient, but he's like a game manager. I feel like if it's coming down to quarterback play, I'm edging to Josh Allen.
Okay.
Yeah, because of experience. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And probably one of the most intriguing matchups is the rematch of this past regular season is the Seattle Seahawks against the San Francisco banged up 49ers. for the prime game? What do we got?
Take Seattle on this one.
Yeah. I don't. It's hard to go against that Seattle defense, man. It's real hard to go against them. Either way, this is gonna be a low scoring game. I don't think I see it going, 27-24, 34, 31 out. I don't think it's gonna be that way, but
Total points is 45.5 right now.
Yeah,
So.
I think it's gonna be a little bit lower, but I don't know, man. It's gonna be a great game. I'm excited about seeing it.
I'm going 49ers. I'm rolling with the Niners on this one. Yeah.
Rolling old big old Brock. And don't get me wrong, I think it's not that it's impossible to win for the 49ers. I don't think it's impossible.
Nikki, what do you feel about George Kittle's backup Jake Tongas having an anytime touchdown in this game?
I think it might be tough.
Okay. All right. We'll go to the 18th where the Houston Texans will face the New England Patriots. Who do we got for this matchup?
What a game.
I know this is going to be a
Oh
great
my God, this is a good game.
game.
This is a good game.
CJ has to do like minimal things and just don't make any mistakes, and he'll be good.
Yes, I agree with you. I'm just gonna take the Patriots on this one. I am like Drake May. It's the MVP season, right? Like he is making things happen. CJ Stroud did not have the greatest game on that. Like they did win, but it's more of a me not trusting the Houston offense to show up. Yep. It's more about that and less about their defense, because it's not like New England's got the greatest offensive line. I think they're ranked like 25th, and they're going up against a top 10, defensive line. So that's going to suck. But it's more about me not trusting the Texans offense on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll.
Yeah. I'm going with the Patriots all the way. I agree with Nikki. I think Texas offense is the issue, not the defense. I think they.
And is Nico Collins playing? We don't know yet.
In concussion protocol right now, so he is questionable for.
And it's Wednesday, so
he's iffy right now.
Yeah, he still got 2 days though, right? Yeah. Or you have to announce it by Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, maybe not, but I go with Patriots, man. I like what they're doing. I think the defense is better than people give them credit for, and I think offensively the Patriots are a little bit better than the Texans.
Evan's gonna go opposite.
No, I'm not. Look.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't want to.
It all falls on. It all falls on like the offense of the Texans and what they're. And it's not like the defense has been carrying them like pretty much all year, and it's the Patriots have Mike Vrabel. His fingerprints are on everything on that team. So, look, as much as it pains me to say that, it's Patriots are gonna win.
What do you hate the Patriots too? The Eagles and the Patriots?
Oh yeah.
He hates the dynasty.
I mean,
he doesn't like dynasty teams.
Oh my God, I don't either. But that's how aggravated.
I love a dynasty team.
Took himself right off of the. It's like I can't even deal with this. I have to take myself off.
Yeah.
Myself out of my own show.
The show.
Hey.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Welcome back, Evan.
Plus,
welcome back.
There's snow possibly in the forecast in New England, so
makes things tougher.
Let's keep that in mind.
All right, and the last game for the divisional round is the Rams and the Bears. Can Matthew Stafford keep up his MVP-like season against Caleb Williams?
What a lucky game he had last week. What a lucky game
I know
he had last week.
It's the Panthers.
If those Panthers had any kind of experience on defense and not play that soft coverage, allow a gunslinger like this guy to come around, I mean, what a fucking debacle that was. But I go Bears. I love what I'm sticking with what we said earlier, Evan, from what we saw, so many weeks ago. I'm going with Caleb. I think he has it in the tool bag to go ahead and make a late comeback if he has to against the Rams as well. So I think they're gonna have a little bit more experience than the Panthers did.
Nikki, who do you got?
Well, I have the Rams on the experience argument because they got a little bit more experience than the Bears do. I think the Bears and the Bears fans, I love this for them. They got to feel great, but you got Stafford in there. They have too much offensive firepower. Sean McVay, I think they're going to put it all together and win soundly.
The Bears are so lovable. It's like you want to root for them so much, but I think Rams have just the firepower they have on offense is just going to be too overwhelming for the Bears defense. I mean,
I think Stafford will
the Panthers offense,
secondary up.
The Panthers offense is more powerful than the Bears offense. This is what I'm hearing.
I'm just saying.
The Panthers offense, all of 5'9", maybe 8, depending on who you talk to, Bryce Young, is more powerful. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going Rams.
I'm going Bears.
I'm going Rams. Look, it might come down to a field goal. That might happen.
We need a tiebreaker because we tied last week. We need.
No, didn't I end up 4-2? So between you guys,
we tied at 5-1.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the bets. Maybe we'll pick a bet or an over/under or something.
Yeah. Okay. If somebody ties again, we got to either paper, rock, scissors or something.
Yeah, we'll do paper, rock, scissors. Well, before we get out of here, I have 2 questions for you guys.
Yes.
Okay. 1, John Harbaugh left. He came to the Giants facilities. People are crazy, tracking his plane, the whole deal. He left, which I figured he would out of respect and courtesy to talk to Matt Ryan and the Falcons and the Titans. First question to you guys, if you had to right now make a decision, where does he land?
Giants.
Can I give you a question back? How long did he stay in New York?
Yeah.
What was that time frame?
How long have they been on SOS with Verizon? About 8 hours.
He was there for a while. He was there for almost the whole day. Yeah.
He did the tour. Now he's not touring with Tennessee. They're coming to his house, and he just did a call with Matt Ryan. So I figured the deal wouldn't get done today because he is that kind of guy. I said I would talk to you. Let me do that.
If he is not the head coach of the New York Football Giants by after this weekend, then it's all Joe Shane's fault.
Yeah, because what do you do? Well, now how long do the Giants really wait? Because these other guys
can't wait long.
I see that if this is
draft room.
But if this is your guy,
right,
you wait. And from what Nikki, the report came out that they said they'd pretty much give him anything he wants, right?
Anything.
So
anything.
I think they
don't do that.
I think the Titans meeting is a courtesy. And then the Falcons meeting with Matt Ryan is probably a courtesy. I think he's made up his mind. I think he's going New York.
Yeah, I think that if decisions are made by the time of
you might even see breaking news on Friday where he's decided.
Friday?
For sure, like right before the games. Yeah, if it's not this past weekend, I say by next week. If it's not by next weekend, man, we got some soul searching to do for Harbaugh. He got to figure it out. I think he's a Giants coach too.
He can't hold everybody up either. I mean, Stefanski's right. Like, you don't want to lose these guys because you're waiting on him to finish his tour of the NFL.
Because you got to start creating the draft room. You got to start getting guys back in there. You got to start talking and getting the juice.
And don't forget, we need an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator.
I say if we don't hear anything by end of day Friday, Monday, you'll probably hear something.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think it can go past Monday.
Okay. But I think he's the next coach for the New York Football Giants.
If we do this show next Wednesday, we haven't heard anything. Yeah, that's gonna be a topic.
I won't even come on if this fan base does not get an answer. Like I just can't keep bothering my sources either because.
Do you think your GM screws this up? Do you think he messes this all up?
Listen, I've said this to everybody when I broke the story the first time. Joe Shane will not be a roadblock, and I mean that in so many ways.
Yeah,
like if they gotta give him a new role, they will. Like and Harbaugh said he could work with him. It shouldn't be an issue. Listen, shout out to John Mara. He's going through chemo. He's throwing the checkbook at this guy. Like they're bringing him, going to his house. His son went to his house, having dinner with the wife. Steve Tisch flew his private plane down for him this morning.
Yeah.
Like
he's your coach, man. It's a no-brainer.
They pulled out all the stops.
Yeah.
All the stops. So we'll see. All right. Well, let's hope. And my last question to you guys is: would you eat it? This is what I can't.
Thank God this isn't a children's show. What are we talking?
Listen, this is a
crazy food item is playing in New York. Right now.
I covered. I just want to know if I'm sure I already know the answer, but I covered Seton Hall and UConn yesterday. Grabbed a cup of coffee in the media room, sat down, just started chatting with Gary Cohen. Right, like okay, sure, why not? During announcer, no problem. And I got a little inside info on a lot of things, so that was good. Media dinner was tater tots,
Yes.
chicken fingers,
Yes.
meatballs,
Yes.
mac and cheese,
Yes.
and
The
chocolate
meatballs.
chip cookies.
Yes. And I would put everything except the cookies on one sandwich and eat it all.
Yeah. I'm not gonna
There
lie.
was
sandwich.
little dinner
So-
rolls, so you would just put the chicken
Boom.
fingers and
So-
the meatball.
Yep.
So now my brain automatically goes to condiments. Like I'm trying to look for what do we have? Do we have ketchup?
There was
and
honey mustard, barbecue sauce,
Chicken
regular mustard, and ketchup.
Yep.
Yep.
All
Yep.
of it.
all
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
all
I
that.
mean,
You would eat it.
yeah, definitely. I got to take care of the meatballs. Or now, were they small ones or like we're talking Italian meatballs?
Probably like the little Italian.
Yeah, the ones that you put grape jelly in and you make meatballs.
Yeah, like
right?
the little ones. Yeah.
Yeah. You know you put grape jelly in that, right?
I don't fuck with jelly. So.
That's a Southern thing, man.
Yeah,
That's
it
a
is.
Southern thing.
I forget you guys technically are in the South.
Like we're
Yankee.
Grape
45
jelly
minutes away
and,
from
and the
each
barbecue sauce. That's a Southern thing,
other.
man.
That's fucking something, yeah.
So
I'm
Garrett
crushing it.
doesn't eat that either. He brings his own dinner, and it consisted of like a salad, an apple, and banana. In case anyone wants to know.
The chicken tenders.
So you guys would eat all that. Wouldn't
All
even
of
bat an
Oh,
eye.
for
No,
sure.
no hesitation.
What type of
Yeah.
chicken tender are we talking? Tyson chicken, or are we talking Publix public chicken tender? Chicken tenders. Like what do they look like?
Like arena. It's at Prudential Center, so like a
Yeah,
stadium.
I'm crushing it.
Oh yeah,
Honey
stadium
mustard all day.
stadium chicken chicky tendies are like
And the
legit.
tater tots didn't
And the
have French
tater
fries, huh?
tots. You like the tater tots too? It was
Yeah,
tater
sure.
tots.
Drizzle a little cheese on top. Yeah, you're good.
Why not?
Yeah.
Was there
You know
cheese?
what? They really they feed men. I think that's what it is. There's always like two women in there, and they're like, "Oh, screw it. You get this wilted salad, and that's it."
Well, sports brings those quick food items like they call them finger foods, where you get the little quick little sandwiches, you get the quick little whatever
Yeah.
vegetable dip thing. You know what I mean? It's
Thought of
quick. You
guys
don't want to
last
be
night.
eating
I said,
meals.
let's do a segment. Would you eat it? And whatever they put out.
That's a
Great title.
great title. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I already see Chat GPT.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't Chat GPT. That was my brain. I was like,
No,
let's just do
I
a
know,
segment called "Would You Eat It?"
Well,
No,
people
I'll
think
create a
that
graphic
would be
on
however they wanna
ChatGPT.
take it.
I'll create a graphic and a little video on
There you
Google
go.
Gemini.
Bro, like a hamburger with sunglasses, opening its mouth and
Yeah.
closing. Oh,
Would you
my
eat
God.
it? Would you guys eat it?
eat it?
Da-da-da.
Maybe you could give us a little jingle. There you go.
That's a really good idea because do stadiums all do the same shit, or there's like no? Because the one in Baltimore, God, what year was that? It was
So most stadiums they're run by a company for their
Yeah.
their concessions. So they usually have the standard items, and then they have those other places that have those specialty items too. So it's usually like hot dogs, chicken tenders, fries.
well, they had
peanuts,
po'
and all
boys
that
though. Baltimore one time. I went to
Yeah.
the Ravens
They have
game,
those.
they
They have the
had strip
specialty
po'
items.
boys, man. Jesus,
Oh, they have Krabby Tots too at M&T. Going to the
you know
Ravens
what I'm
game.
talking
It's
about?
Mm.
tots,
Baltimore's all
cheese,
seafood.
crab
Yeah,
dip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what
Evan,
Maryland
what did they
does.
give you
Nom,
with
nom, nom, nom,
the
nom.
Rays? What did they give
So
you there?
Rays, well, for the press box and the Rays, it's usually like hot dogs and like pretzels and stuff. But like if you want
Peanuts.
like the real stuff, you have to go down and buy it yourself. So wasn't really
Yeah.
flashy or anything like that. Well, although if you went pregame, you get to go into the like media only cafeteria kind of deal, and then they have like
Yep.
a full spread which you go into, and then usually it's like a different type of like meal for each game. So sometimes
Yep.
they have barbecue, sometimes they have like Asian. So yeah.
Never
really
did the
good food.
media stuff in the military. I got to drive a 4-star general who loved race cars for NASCAR, and that was probably the greatest spread I've ever seen in a box. They had prawn shrimp
Oof.
laid. Oh my
Ooh.
God, this thing was laid out. It was, and then you were allowed to bring guests, so I could bring a +1. It was prawn shrimp, crab legs. I'm talking about it. Big, fat, juicy hamburgers, all on this wall. It just looked like heaven to me. I was like, oh my God.
Really?
Oh,
Nice.
it was amazing. And it was all you can eat. I was in full uniform, but I was like, let me kill this prawn shrimp. Like, this is really good.
Oh, you're not allowed to eat in uniform?
Well, you run the risk of getting it dirty.
Oh.
So you try not to eat crap because if you do,
Well,
you got to get
The
home
way
and
you
shit.
two sound, the way I can't imagine. Like,
Well, in the military, it was all
peppers
brown
on a
rice and
sandwich
chicken and broccoli. I
mustard and
couldn't.
ketchup and hot sauce and all these things.
Well, that's why I can do it now.
I have a bib.
Yeah.
Give it, babe.
All right.
Back
And
then
on
you
that
couldn't do
note, let's get on out of here. We want to
Yeah,
thank
get outta
Stank
here.
Bastard from the Loose Cannons podcast for showing up. Make sure to go to our YouTube page, hit the subscribe
Would you eat
notification
it?
bell. Go to
you
our
eat it?
go to our Instagram and X page as well.
Fuck
Follow
yeah.
us there too as well. Would you eat it? Yeah, well, that's our next segment. So, all right, we'll see you guys next week. We'll have divisional winners going into the AFC and NFC
Yep.
championships. We'll get our picks for that. We'll see you guys next week on Between the Uprights.
Go
Peace.
Canes.
Bye.